Good to be here with you today. Wanted to talk to you about the need for insurance. This is Michael, and this is my friend. See if you can see him here. Come on up here, Milo. There he is. Can you see him? This is Milo, the insurance dog, okay? He is my faithful companion. I can't get him to sit here in my lap, but he is my good helper, and he is here to help me today. And we want to talk to you about the need for home insurance. It was in 2018 that our family had a tough issue that happened as we had a pipe break under our house. I thought that I was having a problem with an with a refrigerator leaking. It was in the kitchen area. We were checking it out. I even found somebody to come check my refrigerator, and he's like, "No, kept seeing water occasionally on the floor." And we thought, well, man, I don't know, something leaking in the refrigerator. And it turns out it wasn't that. We began to see, sadly, we ended up smelling some sewage, sadly. And then we found out that what happened was a pipe had broken, and I think there was also a stoppage. We have a line where we run from outside all the way back straight through to the two bathrooms, and that was stopped up. And so it was a pipe had broken, and really it had been broken for a long time. We found out later that pipe was busted and had a hole in it. It was leaking up under the house. But when that bathroom line broke, it was stopped up, it forced some sewage water and things back through the other part toward the washing machines in the kitchen, and then it found a way. It seeped out through so much of it seeped out through the pipe that it eventually found its way through some cracks in the concrete and our foundation, and then it was just a mess. And we knew we were in a mess, and it was just so frustrating. But thankfully, we had home insurance, and the agent that I have, and by the way, who I still have, did a good job of helping us. He kept my insurance up to date. And by the way, your insurance, if you've had your home for a while and your property values have gone up, you need to be careful about insurance. You need to make sure that you're insured at least to 80% of the value of your home. Okay, you need to do that. If you're insured up to 80% of the value and you have a total loss, the insurance will pay off on that. But if you're only insured, let's say, less than that, then there's a formula that they will use, and you won't get the full payment for that. And many people get frustrated, and they get out of sorts, and it's understandable that they feel insurance didn't pay off. But a lot of times they don't know they don't understand that if you're not up to 80% insured, the full damage is not covered, and there's a formula that's used. And that formula may mean that if you have like $20,000 worth of damage, you may only get a $10,000 payoff. But if you're insured at least up to 80% of the value of your home, they will pay, besides deductibles and things, they will pay the full damage. And so we ended up with about $20-something thousand worth of damage. And Milo here, Milo, can you say hello to everybody? Say hi. He's my buddy. Like I say, he won't sit up in my lap. But Milo says, tell these folks that what you went through. And it was pretty rough there for a while. But thankfully we had insurance. And so we called them, and they told us to, we were able to call a company that does demolition work to come do that. And they did. They took care of that. And then they had an independent adjuster come in. Our company didn't use their own adjuster. And he was a nice guy and a good fellow. But he wasn't just there for us. He didn't just work for our company, and he had a lot of other things going on. And he comes out and does an immediate estimate, but really, we weren't hearing from him for a while. And so, thankfully, the guy that was with the demolition company, gets on the phone. The guy wasn't even returning my calls. The adjuster wasn't. The other guy gets on the phone and says, hey, we got to get something done here. Because when you have damage like this, you've got to get the wetness out of the house. It's the same way if a tree falls on your house, or you have a hurricane or tornado or something, it does damage. You've got to get a tarp on the house. And so in that situation, here's what you can do. The insurance company wants you to get that covered. You don't have to wait for them to come out and examine things. You need to get that tarp on it quickly. And they will pay for a contractor to come in, and just go ahead and hire a contractor to come in and put the tarp on it, and they will pay for that. They want you to get that covered. That's part of getting the damage fixed. You need to get it covered so that more damage doesn't happen. And they do not want you falling off the roof. So Now, me, I'm hard-headed, probably going to get me and my son up there, and we're probably going to try to cover it, okay? But it's not a great idea for me to do that. You should, it's fine, especially if you're feeble or you're just not able to get up on the ladder. You should get that to happen, okay? You should get that covered so that more damage doesn't happen, so more water doesn't leak and run in. So you need to make that happen. That is very important that you do that. And so you get that covered. And so in our situation, insurance was very helpful, but this is where the insurance agent comes in. And I know with me, I am an independent agent. I work for I represent various companies with home and auto, and can even do commercial and business insurance. And what we do is, we are working for the insurance company. You do need to know that. We are the insurance company's agent. We're not your agent, but most of us, and I'm one of these people, I'm your agent too. I'm here to help you understand what's going on. That's why I'm making this video right now. I'm trying to help you understand what's happening with insurance, why you need it, why it is so vital, and why it is important for you to have it. And it helps to have an agent who will represent you. I remember calling our insurance company, and the man who did the demolition work said, "Hey, I checking your policy. I think if you're displaced, they're supposed to help pay for a hotel room. We know insurance companies that's done that." So we called and did that. And I have to be honest with you, they initially weren't as happy and excited and nice as they should have been. I had some issues there with them not helping me like I would have liked for them to help me. I got fussed at a little bit about, "Hey, why don't you have don't you have a camper trailer or something you live in?" I'm like, "No, I don't." And so there was a provision in the policy that they would pay for that. And they did. They did pay for that. And they had to, of course, I had to initially pay for it, and I got reimbursed. And we did that. We stayed for a couple of weeks. Then we, eventually we got a contractor hired. Once they did the demolition work, got a contractor hired. But if you have, let's say, $5,000 or $6,000 worth of damage, the insurance company is going to be able to write you a check, and you can just go get it fixed. But if it gets above about $20,000 to $25,000, it's not going to work that way, and you've got a mortgage. They're going to send that check to your mortgage company, and our damage was like $26,000 something dollars. So it was. So the mortgage company got the check, and sadly, which they were patient with it. They got a little impatient for a while, but I can't fault them for that. They were very frustrated because it took them, the demolition company, a long time to get their money. Our mortgage company, on top of all this, put a social security number in wrong, and put a digit in wrong, and it held things up. And it was really a big problem for a while. Sadly, I had them threatening to take me to court. And from their point of view, they had been very patient. They needed their money. And I think, had enough money that I was able to pay them outright. And then I did finally get reimbursed. But when I paid that claim, I think the mortgage company finally saw their mistake. I didn't even give the contractor permission with the demolition company. I gave him permission to talk to the bank. But so I hope that's not your experience, but it could happen. I'm just letting you know that if your damage is above about $20,000 to $25,000, they're gonna get your check, okay? And then they disperse it out. And so with the contractor who actually did the work on our home, and the wall you see behind me here, this quilt is one that my wife's grandmother made. Actually, her grandmother made some years ago. The wall behind it, they had to redo that. They painted that. The walls up under it, we found all kinds of things. We had like 3 layers of walls in here. We had some beautiful floor that got installed and put in here. It all worked out in the end, but it was a 2-month hassle. But thankfully, we had insurance that paid. I had an agent who represented me. I remember calling the agent and saying, "Hey, man, they sort of spoke less than kind to me about my situation with my housing. Do you have any other insurance companies you represent?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm sort of surprised, that they're being this way." And I can't prove that he got on the phone and called somebody, but I just know next time I talked to him, everybody was really nice from the rest of the way on out. So I think he may have let them know that, I got a guy here that made me think about changing companies. And so it worked out. They paid what they were supposed to. Now, there's still, of course, and then you have different levels of things. You need to check your insurance. Are you getting actual cash value? Or are you getting replacement value? You need to check your insurance policy for that. Actual cash value is not going to do nearly as much. It's not going to be nearly as nice of repair work that you're going to get. It's going to be cheaper materials. But if you get replacement costs, then they'll replace what was done. So we were able to get it fixed, and we're in it. And if it hadn't been for insurance, we would have been in a mess. So there again, just to let you know, there are some things that can be troublesome. It doesn't always go smoothly, but if you have an agent, that helps you out. And if you have some companies that know how to work with, like my contractors knew how to work with insurance companies, and we didn't, it was a little bit of a headache, but we got it done. And so if you need me, if you choose me as an insurance agent, I'm here to help you. I'm here to run interference for you, give you some advice. I had a friend here who a few months ago, he had a problem or a situation. It's been a few years ago, really. Had a leak and called his insurance company. They filed a claim. Well, they didn't. I guess it didn't meet deductible. Maybe it was cheaper than the deductible. Whatever, they rejected it. Well, on top of all them rejecting it, they also filed the claim, so it's on their record. They're trying to change and go to another insurance company, and underwriting is wanting to see where a contractor has come in and fixed it. Well, my friend just didn't have the money and fixed it himself, but because a contractor didn't sign off on that, there's an underwriting issue now about them changing companies. So what would you do in that situation? If you call your agent, and if you call me, I'm going to say, oh, let's see how much your deductible is. Let me look at your policy. And, well, you've got like $1,000 deductible. And bring a contractor in. Let him give you an estimate. He says, oh, it's going to cost $600 to fix that. I want to say, don't file the claim. Fix it. If you want to fix it yourself, that's fine. If you want to let a contractor do it, but don't file a claim because it's going to be on your record. And they're going to deny it. I mean, they're not going to pay anything. So now here it is. You filed a claim. You got you got nothing, no payout. And now you're just messed up. So yeah, don't do that. Let an agent help you. I know in this world we can go online and do things. Had a friend of mine yesterday call me and say, hey, can you add a vehicle to my insurance policy? Well, yeah, I was able to do that for him. And if I get super busy, we've got a great customer service person in our agency that will make that happen if I can't get to it right away. And she's been at it for a long time, and she'd make it happen very quickly. So those things happen. You need representation. And so not only am I an insurance agent, but I'm a pastor. And I try to treat my insurance customers and clients just like I do in my congregation. I'm here to shepherd you and pastor you with insurance. So I'm just here to let you know that I'm here to help you. And this is sort of what you would do if you have an insurance claim. You need insurance. You need to, it helps to have a good insurance agent. This is sort of our story, what happened to us, and it ended up with a happy ending. We have a nicer home that looks better. It's been spruced up a lot. My wife picked some wonderful colors. Over here to the right, I have a red wall. Here in this room, we have an open setting. We have the living room and dining room is sort of open. All right, Milo, what you wanting to tell them? You got something you want to say to the folks? Hey, say hello. You got something you want to say? Thought Milo might have something he wants to say to y'all. He may be getting tired of being on camera. But anyway, yeah, but it all worked out for the best, and we actually had a lot of things that got improved and spruced up. And by the way, I had another issue where something leaked out up under the floor. And when that happened, that was my air conditioner line got stopped up. Not long, but just a few months after we got all this fixed. Well, I had to rip some floor out, dry things out, and we fixed it ourselves. We didn't file a claim with that because we were able to immediately take care of it, get everything dried up, get got fans on everything, and we pulled some of the flooring out, put some of it back in, but I did have to go back and buy a little more. So those things happen with home ownership. It's a headache. So you just got to know what your insurance policy says. Your agent can help you with that. Know whether you have an open perils policy. There's some that will pay for everything. Most policies don't. You have some restrictions. look at that. Be aware. If you don't understand, your agent will help you with that. And by the way, my insurance company contacted me earlier last year and said, by the way, you may want to raise your deductible because you have a fairly low deductible of $1,000. I said, okay, that's nice. That's good. So I looked to see what it was going to cost if I raised it to $5,000. It was only going to save me a few $100s a year. And I'm like, I don't have $5,000 just laying around all the time. But I can get a hold of $1,000. If I was in a financial bind and didn't have $1,000 with me, I think I can find 100 friends that'll give me $10. But I can get $1,000. I could put it on a credit card. I could do something for $1,000. So it wasn't worth raising the deductible. So keep all those things in mind and let your agent help you. I told my friend that had the situation with the pipe leaking in his house and how the insurance company didn't pay, that the agent should have helped him with that. And I've told him to go back to his agent and push him a little bit and say, hey, why did somebody not help me with that? Hey, what can you do for me? And I haven't heard back from them whether that's worked for them or not. But I'm thankful for my agent going and calling the company and telling them to get on the ball and where I was going to change companies and do something else. They took care of it. They were friendly after that. So if you use me for home and auto, I'm going to represent you. I'm going to give you advice about what to do. And you say, well, what if you don't know? Well, I have the two owners of our company know. They've been in business for 20 years apiece. So they know their stuff. And so if I don't know, I'm going to be able to find out very, very quickly. So they are the pros at this. But the wonderful thing is I love doing insurance because people need help. And it's an important thing. In the book of Proverbs in the Bible, it talks about being responsible and about planning for things. I heard a gospel singer on a online concert I was watching last night. He talked about how God can move mountains, but he says sometimes he expects us to get a shovel and cooperate there. Okay, we do our part. And so you need to do your part by having insurance, by preparing for loss. If you can afford nothing but the basic insurance, the lowest, that still helps. I mean, it still helps if you have a fire, if you have other things that happen, disasters. Some help is better than nothing. Okay, put some money in your pocket and let you start over. You get some money, and then you may can find, you may have to raise some money, but it will happen in the work. So I've enjoyed telling you about insurance. Milo here is let me just show you what he's doing here. He's decided to lay down on the couch and take a nap. Okay, he's tired of talking about insurance. So he does love to hang out with me. And by the way, wearing my TAP shirt today. I think you're seeing it backwards there, but TAP, TAP, Touching All People. Great organization. My son's played for them. He's also played for CMSA, Coaches Mentoring Student Athletes. Great organizations that are not only teaching basketball, but also teaching kids life skills. But no matter where you live, again, I'm a Texas agent. I can't help you if you're outside of Texas. But wherever you live, get involved in your local community and make a difference. May the Lord bless y'all. Pray that you'll have a great day. And I'll come back and talk some more about insurance. Milo and I'll be here tomorrow and share something else. If you have some insurance questions, put something in the comments there, and I'll try to answer the question. If I don't know, I'll do some research, and we'll make that happen. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care and God bless. Goodbye.